Hello and welcome to another wicked gameplay episode. Today we're in Prepared and we are at the Cairns International Airport, which is north of Brisbane, quite far up north actually, on the east coast of Australia. I don't actually remember the KO code. I was just thinking about where we want to launch this, take this beautiful aircraft on a quick flight just around the airport here, and this is where we ended up. So this is the part of the Orbix scenery, and we're looking at the fantastic Carenado PC12, also known as the Pilatus, and quite a beautiful aircraft it is too. Very well done, as you might expect from Carenado. You know, they've been around for a while, and you pretty much know what to expect and what you're going to get. So I really like them. I think they make some nice aircraft. So this one here is definitely looking pretty good. So as you can see, the level of detail on the exhaust there, it's got sort of that heat kind of effect on the exhaust. The reflections in the prop tip there looks pretty cool. I like it. Definitely one of, you know, as with each aircraft that evolves out of the Carenado hangar, they definitely seem to be getting better and better, at least in my opinion. You can see the landing lights there on the wings. You know, it does have to admit look pretty amazing if you like this kind of thing. And as usual, it's a GA aircraft. One of my favorites actually, the GA aircraft. I really like these kind of aircraft. So let's jump inside and have a little look what she looks like on the inside. Okay, so here we are in the cockpit / flight deck / whatever else you might want to call it. And we have the armrests that tilt up. We have the overhead panel up here. We have our instrument panel for the chief pilot and the first officer here. We've got our GPS, two of transponder and engine instruments and all that stuff here. So what we're going to do is just flick around the default views in here and we'll take a look around. So this is the Copilot, the center view, a bit more of another view there from the sort of pedestal kind of look. One down here near the Avidyne system. This is sort of down low near the pedestal where you can access these switches. The overhead panel, back if you're, you know, come and have a bit of a sneak peek from the back, wanted to have a chat to the pilot while he's flying. And the back of the aircraft here, which is always pretty cool, and I believe you can actually close this somehow, although I'm at a loss to work out where the click point is. You can actually, there it goes, bit of a delay. You can also close these blinds. Not that you're really going to spend much time back here when you're the pilot. I mean, why would you, when you can spend it right up here up the front. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get ourselves sort of in set up ready to fly, and we've got our condition lever here, which should be this one, which I've got mapped. This is a bit of a tricky aircraft. Tended to accelerate off the start, so we're going to make sure we've got our parking brake on. You can also close these, make sure our parking brake is attached, not attached but on here. We'll just hide that yoke and we'll jump back in the pilot seat. Okay, so we're back in the cockpit here and we're going to be getting this thing underway, so I'll just make sure my condition lever is set. Throttle is set, and we're going to go to the overhead panel here. We'll turn on the actually what I probably should show you is the options that you can get here. So you can have this in a cold and dark state, ready to taxi. We're going to just have it in the cold and dark state as we've set up here, and a few shortcut keys which I can't remember. And we're going to have a look at this. So first thing we want to do is turn our battery on. Fuel pumps are on auto, ignition's on auto. We'll turn our second battery on, turn our generators on. Avionics will turn on. Don't know if I actually need that, to be honest. I didn't look at the manual. So we've got our light test. We've got our... Wow, that's loud. Pusher test.
Fire. 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 Fire.
And we can turn our... Well, since we're here, we're going to turn on our navs and our beacons. And I've got my parking brake set, so we can actually get ready to fire up. And what we're going to do is hit the starter here. And watch our NG gauge. Of course, having our condition lever down. Wait till it gets to around 10, 11, 12. We're just going to push our condition lever up. I'm not really sure why it doesn't want to start like this. Sometimes when this happens, I just hit the on and then get my condition lever up. And then that seems to start it. Reset that. Turn our Garmin's on. Get our Avidyne on. Not going to need any of those. As you can see here, we're now underway, or got this thing up and running. We've got some options here that we could look at. So we've got the Avidyne, you can pop it up. Your GPS, your electronic flight instrument system, your autopilot and altimeter settings, your engine instruments, and some options here for some static elements in the baggage doors and that sort of thing. You can also click there to close. We're going to jump outside real quick. And we can just open the passenger door. Very cool. I like the way it sort of does that. Also got our baggage door here. We won't worry about the static elements. Pretty standard stuff. Close these doors. We've got the VC windows, instrument deflection, reflections. That's pretty standard for Carenado aircraft these days. So. Okay, let's see if we can just get this thing in the air. So before we do that, we'll get some lights on here. So let's turn on our taxi lights. We'll leave all the wing lights off, and we'll do a takeoff and see how we go. So we've got our flaps are here. So we can have a look at those. Have a look at how they animate. I've just hit my second level of flaps. Third level. They look pretty cool. I like those. Alright, so we'll get them back up. So we'll get some revs going here. Find our way to a runway. Really nice. It's quite easy to hand fly. This sort of find this cockpit glare shield, I guess if you want to call it that, quite high to look over, but I guess that's how this plane is. Not exactly following the taxi lines, but I want to sort of show you the aircraft. Okay, so we're getting close to the runway here. We're going to get fired up, get ready to get on the runway here. So before we do that, we just want to have a quick look up here. We want to get some landing lights on. We'll turn off our taxi lights, and I think we're good to go. Probably while I'm here, I might just quickly show you some of the lighting options. We have some lights here where we can turn on the gauge lights or the instrument lights. Got some additional lights there that you can see. Dome lights. That's not what I wanted. We've got some glare shield lights and cockpit lighting. Some couple of different dome lights. These are probably for the back. Never really know if you need to right click or not with these, so I haven't really flown this aircraft all that much, so I might just leave that as it is there. That's all good. Let's get onto the runway. Let's just wait for this to spool up a little bit. So we've got our flaps already at stage 1 or 10 degrees or whatever it is. I'm gonna say go and see what Cairns looks like from the air. So let's spool it up. Nice and right rudder, so pulling to the left. We're good to just get up in the air here. Gear up. Flaps up. Really nice. So what I'm going to do is get the autopilot going and hit the autopilot. Should just take me off to the right here. We'll jump outside and have a little look at what she looks like. Flying over Brisbane, oh it's not Brisbane, Cairns. Looking lovely, might say.
500.
No, that doesn't sound too good. We should be able to get over here and probably that should take us back up. always put it into the water. It's a really pretty stunning looking airplane. Okay, so I've been doing a little bit of flying around and getting us back over near the airport, and what I've done is I'm going to line us up for runway 15 and we're going to do an ILS approach. I've got my nav set up here with 109.90 and we've got our VLOC on and we're coming in for a ILS approach. Let's just see how we go here. Might get my gear down. First set of flaps. Kicking in there, so as you can see I was starting to stall. You can always tell that by the nose tipping up so much while the angle of attack keeps increasing, so be very careful about that. You'll see the nose trying to keep tipping up. And that's like why that stick shake is there, so you can tell that you're going to stall, so you need to do something quickly or the aircraft will stall. It's kind of a pretty cool feature. Have a look down here, see what our glide slope is. You can see we're above the glide slope. On the right hand side here we've got GS, and looks like we're coming back into into line with the glide slope there. Oh god, trying to keep that thing on the screen. Get a better look at that. Get to our next stage of flaps. We're at full flaps now. Get a little bit slower. A beautiful countryside here. Get back in the cockpit. So we're starting to lose some, make sure we don't lose too much speed there. We're getting to the bottom of our airspeed. Don't want to get that airspeed to drop off too much. Turn off the autopilot there, mainly because I didn't set my barometric setting, so I'm obviously way too high. And now we're just floating down the runway because bit of a rough landing. Not an ideal landing, but yep, it is what it is. Not that familiar with this plane, so and there we have it. The PC Pilatus from Carenado. Clean up this aeroplane. Flaps up. Trying to keep this thing stable on the taxiway here, so we'll turn our taxi lights and turn off our landing lights, and we'll see you back at the gate. Well, there you have it. That's the Carenado PC12 Pilatus. A bit of a bumpy landing. Not really used to landing in Prepared. I spend most of my time in X-plane, so definitely the landings are a little bit different, the way the two aircraft work. But hope you enjoyed the video. It is a pretty nice aircraft, and if you like the Carenado aircraft, this is, and you want to be flying in Prepared or FSX, this is definitely a nice aircraft to consider. Hope you liked it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Thanks to all the new subscribers, really appreciate it. Thanks for all your support, and we'll catch you on the next video.